All right, let's get started, sir. I guess my first question for you is your overall message today when you talk to this crowd.
Well, part of what I always try to do is I'm always asked, have we achieved the dream of your father? And I add my mother because she was very much a part of the whole experience. And the short answer is absolutely not. Individuals have achieved incredible things. We have African-American billionaires now, at least 10 that we know, and there's probably another 10 or 15 that we don't know. But the fact is, there have been strides. Corporate America has made significant strides since the 60s. We're not where we need to be because there are probably less than 3 CEOs of Fortune 500 corporations. The big challenge is the masses of people of color, Black, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, and then of course there's a category of poor whites, a huge. In a nation with a multi-trillion-dollar economy, how do you justify the poverty that exists in this country? We are not focused enough. Even with the terrible economy and inflation, we still have far more than anybody else on the planet. Why are we not? Dad talked about redistribution of wealth and resources, not taking someone's money. That's not what he was talking about, although there are those who didn't understand that. And in fact, I would go so far as to say, I'm giving you a lot.
Oh, no, bring it.
I'd go so far as to say he was killed not because he was talking about having people be able to ride in the front of buses or to eat at lunch counters. It was because he had an economic agenda. When you talk about radical redistribution and how you use the resources you have. So for example, you know, if you have an economy where you're paying teachers the money that we pay our teachers, they're some of our most important people in our society, and yet we pay them very little. That's an area we've got to work on. Ultimately, though, where I'm headed is how do we recreate unity and minimize division? Doesn't mean that we have to agree on everything. Dad taught us, and Mom, how to disagree without being disagreeable. We have lost civility in the political space. We see this every day. Our children see it. We ought to be ashamed, embarrassed that we are showing our children the worst of who we are, not creating the best. Because the best would say, you know what, I don't agree with that, but let me share a different perspective. Let's consider this. Let's find the ways. There may be 10 ways where we are against each other or don't agree, but there's one thing that we might agree on. Let's start with that and build from there. So that's what the King holiday gives us an opportunity to bring people together. Now, here in Kansas City, one of the things I'll say is, you know, you guys having won Super Bowls, that brings people together. Everybody, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter if you're religious or not, doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, doesn't matter about anything. It's about winning, coming together, showing a team works. That's kind of how we as America ought to be working, but we're not displaying that yet.
I hear you talk, so I'm hearing definitions of cohesion, empathy, equity, unity in what you just talked about. How does that play out, you think, in the current landscape, social construct we have?
Well, as I said, it's not playing out at this moment. It does not mean that civility will be gone forever. We have a choice to make as a society, even in terms of protecting, preserving, and expanding democracy. You know, do we want to head in a fascist way? People must come to the table and say, no, this is the kind of government we want. You know, I think we found ways to attack everything that we think is the problem. And as opposed to saying, you know what, let's look at this better. For example, the thing that has made this country great is its diversity. And now you're down in diversity? That's weird. I mean, it's because we've had, you know, the ingenuity of African Americans, of whites, of Latinos, of Hispanics, of Native Americans, of so many. That is what's made this nation become the leader that it is. And if it wants to sustain its leadership, we're going to have to come together. Dad would say, man, humankind must learn nonviolence or face non-existence.
I feel nervous quoting your father in front of you. I think he said intelligence plus character.
Character.
That was the true meaning of education. Now, as we say that, we're here for a scholarship luncheon with these students. How do these students help right that ship that you speak of?
Well, what's first of all most important is that we have the best in caliber and quality of education. We have some of the finest colleges and universities on the planet, but our primary and secondary system of education, particularly public education, is at a tragic, a saddened place. We have got to focus on providing the best education for everyone, which can be done, by the way. Now, what these students, they're already taken that step because they're at community college and going from here to 4-year institutions, adding a few more years. A lot of the students, I think, are getting associate's degrees. So that means that they will, of course, go on to other colleges and universities. So that's probably the first step. It's really, for life, you have to create a strategic plan. College creates the opportunity and creates options because technology is constantly changing. And hopefully people are exposed to and embracing the technology. Not social media, that's a mixed blessing, I'll say. When you find out that the people in Silicon Valley who make the technology, they don't allow their children to use it until they're adults or almost adults or young adults, then you should ask the question, should I let my child use this that everybody has? And there's a lot of peer pressure, so I get that. But there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of hatred that's being promoted through the social media channels. And while we haven't figured out yet how we change or stop that, we got to figure out how we curtail that, because we will not function if we're at each other's necks. The final thing I'll say is I believe that education is one of the most important things that we all should have if we want to advance. And, you know, Carter G. Woodson wrote a book called The Miseducation of the Negro. Now, that's not talked about generally in history, but it helps to understand as it relates to the African-American community some of the things that have happened. And the reality is when you have a nation that is banning books, that is denying the Holocaust, that is talking about certain history shouldn't be taught, that's not what education should be about. And we got to change that trajectory and not allow politicians to come. Again, these are things that divide. Now, let me say one thing specifically. We don't want to talk about Rosewood in Florida or Greenwood in Oklahoma City. Those were just 2 cities that were burned down, that were black communities, that if they had been allowed to thrive by now, you know, the African-American community would be totally different. But there were over 40. This is history that people need to know, not for guilt. It's not about, you know, collective guilt. It's not about making somebody feel guilty, but it's about collectively we have to come together to make sure these kind of things never happen and all people can really realize their dreams.
Well, let me ask you this. I know I'm short on time, but you know, today, Monday, you know, we get the Chiefs on Saturday, but a lot of folks will be quoting your dad. A lot of folks will be talking the talk. How do we walk the walk and make it a day on, as we have been saying?
Let me suggest this, because one of the things we're doing is we're launching a major service initiative, volunteerism, and we're launching it largely with young people, but for the next 5 years, we're working to create 100+ million hours of service across our nation, having young people leading that effort. Now, think about that. What makes this so important is, again, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, if you're Republican, if you're independent. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're Hindu, Buddhist, or if you're atheist. We can all come together and build something that's bigger than ourselves. And so that's what, during the King holiday, we always involved in service, but then we stop. It has to be a consistent effort So we want to create the climate where we're all engaged in service throughout the year. That will make us a better nation and help to create a better world.
What about civic engagement? You talk a bit about this, but when you look, and you talked about the construct of how things are changing. You look at the Supreme Court, for example, affirmative action, and all the other implementations that are happening there, and at local and state governments. What can we do as a society to I guess, be cognizant of that?
Well, the first thing is we have to stay engaged. Part of the problem is people are frustrated. They're frustrated because they see politicians screaming and hollering at each other. It's not only is it not sustainable, it is beyond destructive and disruptive. So what happens is people don't vote. They don't feel they count. You got to do voter education with registration, not just voter registration. Education creates the opportunity to understand how government works, to understand, how resources are being allocated. And when we disengage, we get the kind of things that happen where you have one group of people who are controlling everything instead of a harmonious, diverse group of people who are saying, okay, we represent the interest of everyone, not just one side.
Do we have proper access, the access that your father fought for?
Do we have proper access? Who is we?
Society, disenfranchised people.
Yes, there's proper access. It's just not manifested in the fullest way. We're using a fraction of what we could use. And the other thing we've done, the organization I work with, my wife and I'm the Drum Major Institute. I'm the chairman of the board. My wife is the president. And we've engaged in a campaign to fund grassroots organizations, black and brown led, in communities around our nation. So in the last election, many of those who represented the perspective that some would call a MAGA perspective, secretaries of state, they ran, but they didn't win because these groups were working on the ground saying, look, we don't need a scenario that moves us backward. We got to move forward. The universe moves this way. Only human beings are trying to move us backward. It's not going to be successful. Temporarily it's successful. But at the end of the day, it's just the way things are. And energy is moving forward. And we have to expand. There are many things that all of us are going to be exposed to that many of us, who we may not like. But it's the nature of where we are. So I think when you look at the young people coming along, they see things totally different than we do. And they may be one of the greatest generations that's ever been produced.